Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Mellow Mondays. I pray that we find you doing well and at peace. Today is a very special day in the United States of America. Today is Memorial Day. Now, Memorial Day is a holiday where we honor the men and women who died while serving us in the military. This day is celebrated the very last Monday of May every year. Now, it unofficially marks the first day of summer, and typically, what you do is you see people barbecuing and gathering together with friends and family. But I would say this year it struck me different just because I really realized that someone had to die so that I could live. And they went into it knowing that death is a possibility, but they were so committed to the cause that they did it in spite of. And so, when we dread going into Mondays and when we dread going into life, and the different obstacles that we may face in life, is so important to understand the purpose of a thing. There's a very powerful quote by Miles Monroe that says, if you don't know the purpose of a thing, you'll abuse it. And so as you go to your friends and families and you go to picnics and barbecues and parades, you'll probably see a lot of red cups. And speaking of not knowing the purpose of a thing and then abusing it, I learned only yesterday that the notches in the red cups are measurements. So there's so much functionality to this cup that I actually scoff at because I think it's a tacky little cup because it just looks cheap, and I always associate it with a low rate event that most likely has some type of beverage in it that I probably should not be consuming. But it actually is so cool and it has so much function and purpose that I scoffed at it, but it really was a powerful thing. Funny, huh? Well, how often do we do that in life when we kind of go through life and we don't really understand the origin, we don't really understand the purpose? If you listen to the Hypocrites and Hypochondriacs podcast, we go all the way back to the very beginning. We go all the way back to Eden, and we talk about origin and purpose. And it's so important for us to do that in our lives. As we go through life and we may dread Mondays, we may dread going into work, we may dread going home, we may dread different aspects of our life. We need to understand the why. The why is so important to why we're doing this. And I bet you 9 out of 10 times, if you observe the why and understand the why, it will change your perspective. So today, when you're gathering together with your friends and your family, because we are semi out of quarantine, praise the Lord, understand the why. Understand why you are doing things, and understanding that sometimes what you have been tasked to do is so much more powerful than you. It's so much bigger than you and the outcome, the benefit. Think about those men and women in the U.S. military who died, who sacrificed their lives so that we can have the liberties that we have here in the United States of America. Friends, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Mellow Mondays and that it gives you fresh perspective on your why and knowing the purpose of a thing. I would like to leave you with this very powerful quote. Memorial Day is the day that's set aside to remember with gratitude and pride all those who served and died for our country and our freedom. May your day be filled with memories and peace. God bless America.